guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street, where the street speaks. My name is Sean, and I have my fellow geeks over here, Eric and Harvin. Hello.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
All right, so we are here for another episode of Hawkeye. I think it was a very cliffhanger episode. It was very fun. A lot of things that excited all of us during this episode.
I just
Many
I
things
just want to
happened.
mention one thing. Uh, the intro itself reminded me of Harvin because he said the last episode had two arrows, but now we had none. Did you all notice?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
okay.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so that was because we know that it is not meant. It was more of the story. We will get into the
Yeah, yeah.
breakdown that So spoiler alert for those who have not watched what you call episode 3 of Hawkeye series. Please catch it on Disney Plus Hotstar if you're in Malaysia, and Disney Plus Hotstar in other
There's
countries
no
in
Hotstar in
Asia.
other countries.
Yeah, yeah, okay, and then Disney Plus everywhere else. Okay, so please do catch what you call Hawkeye episode 3, right? So without further ado, guys, so let's get into the breakdown of Hawkeye episode 3. Okay, so episode 3 opens up with a young Maya Lopez, right? Played by Darnell Desol. I think that's how you pronounce her name, lah. But she's a very cute young girl, very cute young actress. So so she plays the young Maya Lopez, right? So this particular the first sort of like act is mainly all about her backstory, right? In terms of Maya Lopez, who we know in the comic is Echo. So we dive into her backstory. Then what do you call it is the year 2007, which is the flashback. And it was all before that, before even Iron Man 1 in 2008, even before all these Avengers things, Kate Bishop, the story and all that. So takes like place like in that unknown era, probably sometime around Hulk, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
It's just I think early stages of phase one. It's just around because all takes place around that same year, right? So yeah, the build up to the phase one of beginning to the ending of phase one.
Correct. So it's like it's just that the ball started rolling, lah, right? So it was in the midst of that. So then we know of course that Maya Lopez, the character, is actually she's not able to speak because she's differently abled in that way. So we see her at a very young age doing lip reading, which is something that is of course is a very big thing for especially a very young person to be able to do that. So we already can see that because even in that scene we see her finishing up her work before the teacher even starts teaching and all this. So how smart she is as a person, because we know that Echo is the character in terms of her abilities, right? Is very much similar to Taskmaster, where she can copy other people's moves and things like that. Where she's able to, she's just intelligent in that way, lah. So it shows from that from a very young age that she's already very very smart, right? And then we also, what do you call the next one? We see her father, William Lopez, played by Zen McLennan, who acted in Westworld, one of the more famous movies, lah. And then playing, the shadow thing. I don't know what you call it, lah. So I call it playing shadow. All right. If you guys have any other name for it, I don't know.
Nah, I think
But,
it's Shadow, playing Shadow.
Yeah. So that's what I should think, right? With her talking about dragons. I don't know if she knows anything about Fing Fang Foom.
No, yeah, actually, the whole dragon reference. Obviously, it's nothing about if they know about Ping Pong Boom, but obviously, as we Marvel fans, whoever watch Shang-Chi, is definitely a subtle reference to dragons, to Shang-Chi, Ping Pong Boom, and stuff like that. So yeah.
I'm not gonna overthink it, lah. I think dragon is just like a common thing. It's just like a normal thing, lah. So I'm not gonna overlook and think it's a reference. I don't think Marvel wants to put anything small there and say, "Hey, Shang-Chi reference." No, I don't think so, lah.
I mean, that's what we do here in Geek Theories. We like to go beyond the possibilities, lah.
Yeah, yeah.
Think
I
outside
told
the box.
I told you, right? I work for Marvel, so I know insights.
All right. Okay. Then, all right. So the next one we see, she actually asked her father, whether he could pay for them to pay for her to go to deaf school and things like that. And we see like sort of like a very similar parallel to Kate Bishop, where maybe there's some sort of financial difficulty like they're going through and things like that. So it is quite parallel. Right? I don't know whether we will see throughout the series, because we know there's only another, like, I think 3 more episodes to go, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it just hit me.
So yeah, it's very very fast, especially in this particular series, right? So I mean, this particular episodes was so fast. So we see that sort of parallel. And then the next we see them we see her in a karate school with, of course, little Kazi, which is of course in how we know that because of the credits. So we know that she knows Kazi since she was a very very young girl, right?
I didn't know Kazi was in that shot.
Yeah, I also didn't know.
I need to go and watch again and see him.
But good job, Sean.
Good job.
Good job.
Yes. Thank you very much. So this is the reason why you come to Geek Street, to find out all the information. Okay.
I can't believe you actually sat through the end credits.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we all did. I also did. I was just probably expecting some end credit scenes, so probably I think Sean also tried to.
Yeah. I always fast forward the credits until the end, and like, nothing there already. Okay, that's this off. Right. So going back to the topic, guys. Let's take on topic. So we see that there is it's like a martial art, like a karate school, where we sort of like think, because we see her father there, right? And then we also see in that particular shot. I hope Harvin can edit this correctly. You will see when he kneels down and talks to her, we see another tracksuit guy going out the front door. So it's probably like a recruit center where they train young children to become, assassins, something like the Black Widow sort of story, right? Something similar to that extent, where they train up these people in martial arts so that they can recruit them into the tracksuit, what they call mafias, right? Okay, so that's that particular scene.
I think before you move on, but I don't think it's more like a recruit, because I don't think they are, and especially if we are talking about the tracksuit mafia, I don't think they are such a big organization such as the Black Widow program, where they train out and then they send into the tracksuit mafia. As we all know, the tracksuit mafia has been a comical characters throughout this whole MC, and of course the comical characters throughout the whole comic book in Marvel. So I don't think that, but I think what we can say is that the tracksuit mafia has been active from that year or beyond before that year. We never know. So it's been going on till up to this present day in Hawkeye.
Actually, I disagree with you, Harvin. Because after we continue to break down, we will all learn that the father was actually the leader at that time for Tracksuit Mafia, alongside the uncle. So, and after later on throughout the series, I don't know, Sean will mention or not, there will actually be a part where they will actually compare to the father and say that the father chooses, always goes for people first, always goes for his group first. So at that particular scene, when the father was speaking to the daughter, that's most likely a training center probably a safe space for them to send their kids and train, or maybe to learn instead. Not future villains, or not like Red Room, but I think that center is owned by the Tracksuit Mafia, owned by the father or his uncle or whatever gang there is . So I disagree with you . I think what Sean says is true, but I don't think it's a Red Room like Black Widow.
No, I mean, not to that extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Not to that extent, but something along those lines stuff, right? If not, then why would there be more than? Why would William Lopez be there, and then another person who's from the tracksuit also want to be there, unless he's just accompanying a bro, or with another bro or something like that, right? Okay.
And why martial arts? Why you got so many things to send? You need to send your daughter to deaf school. Why you sending martial arts for? Right?
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the next one we see William Lopez actually telling young Maya Lopez that the line which I think all of us got very excited about. He said, "Uncle will take you home after class." and then we see her hand playfully pinching her cheeks, and then we think, who is that, huh?
Kingpin. Let
Yeah.
me spell it out for you.
Yeah, so we think we all can agree lah. It's about I mean it definitely is somewhat a reference to Wilson Fisk, who is we know as Kingpin, who is very heavily rumored to be inside this particular series, although it is not on the official cast list, but we think of course he will be there lah.
Yeah, I think the hand is like too obvious already. You can see that it's huge, and the way she looks up, and then you can see, you know how he always wears a suit, right? So you can actually see the long sleeve a little bit. It's so clear lah until they actually reveal straightforward up. Like it's so clear lah.
No, but I think also because it's like overshadowing it, right? Because as we all know in the comics, Maya Lopez's father dies, and then it's the uncle, or in the comic it's actually Kingpin who raises Maya Lopez, right? So in this particular series, her father dies, and who else to raise up is definitely the uncle, and yeah, we all know it should be Kingpin. I think it's definitely Kingpin.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's already a giveaway already. You know, when there's an uncle and all that. So it's moving into that particular direction lah. So all the more reason why I think we should expect Matt Murdock to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay. So all of this is leading towards that, and I'm really excited. And I mean, all of us, I think we are excited about that, right? Okay. So then after all that you know that oh my god, are we going to see finally? Okay, we didn't see anybody, we just saw a hand pinching, and then we see why Maya Lopez actually wants, because we saw in the previous episode that one of the tracksuit mafias actually came to her and said that we got him and we got her and things like that. So why she wanted to go after Ronin. We know the story is that because we know that in that particular flashback we see that the Ronin actually took down the tracksuit mafias and also killed her father, right? So I think so this is the reason why Maya Lopez wants to go after Ronin. I mean, wants to find Ronin lah, right? Because she saw the thing. I mean, I saw Kate Bishop wearing the suit and all that. But of course, maybe she don't know it's her, but that she wanted to find lah, right? Right. So she finds her father dying on the floor, and then telling her in sign language, "Fly away, little dragon." You know, again another sort of like a Shang-Chi reference. We does not get carried away with that. Then he places his bloody hands, bloody, right? Bloody. I'm not saying bloody, bloody. How do we just put that thing there? Okay, put the hands on the cheeks. We can see the handprints, you know, because of the blood. So we can. It's sort of like the handprint mark that we see in the comics that she has across her face. Which is, we know that Marvel doesn't follow 100% from the comics, but they give a lot of Easter egg references and all that. So this is something that is very, very nice touch with Echo. Okay. And then after all that, so now we know the backstory, right? The backstory of why Maya Lopez, also known as Echo, wants to go after Ronin, and why she has a vengeance for that. Okay, because her father died, right? Because he killed the father. Then we cut back to present day in the series where we see Clint and Kate in this huge old abandoned toy shop. You know, like at the end of the previous episode. Except this is like the sort of like the next morning or something like that, because the previous episode it was like dark and at night. So this picks up the next morning, right? So then Kate tells Clint how she wanted to save him. You know, there was like she was trying to be like the hero and all that. And Clint was just like, I'm not having any of this. You know, you just screwed up the whole situation, right? Because she wanted to do that catch and release thing like we spoke about the previous episode, right? So then she advises one of the tracksuit bros. I like to call them tracksuit bros. They're not like mafias, you know. They're tracksuit bros, right?
Yeah.
So going to an Imagine Dragon concert, you know, with that bro's girlfriend, right? This showing her youth and all that. She's still a very young person, you know. Rather than she hasn't matured to an extent where she probably can take on that Hawkeye sort of like serious mental, because we know the Hawkeye persona is a very, not to say very dark, but very serious person, and very like, how to say, he has his own way of doing things. He doesn't take too he doesn't give a damn about anybody, or he wants to do things himself, and things like that. So she hasn't matured to that extent, but maybe as we see the character arc throughout the series,
I mean, as we all know from the previous episode, she's referenced that she's 22, so she still has long way more and more experience to gain from Clint, and also by herself throughout the whole years to come.
And she's older than Spider-Man.
Yeah, and imagine Spider-Man now.
I think after No Way Home, will be very more matured lah. Okay, all right. So then we see what they call Echo coming to them to interrogate about Ronin. She sees Clint wearing his hearing aid, right? And then cuts off the duct tape so he can sign language, because maybe she thinks that he cannot hear or something like that. But then he says he's still learning. Although he did initially do sign language. I do not do sign language. I'm so sorry. I wish I can learn. And I want to learn that, because it's very cool, doing sign language somehow. I think it's a very it's good for us to learn lah. All right. So then she asks about Ronin, and then he says that this part is very, very nice. How that she cannot hear, but when he says it, we also don't know what he's saying. And then Kazi is just the black language, said the Black Widow killed the Ronin, right? So that was what it was. In a way that I think what Clint meant is that she stopped the Ronin lah. But that means he killed off the character of Ronin rather than he himself, right? So I think that was a very, very nice way of like subtly putting it in there that no, it did not actually kill the Ronin person, but the character itself.
It's like direct or indirectly reference in a way, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
So
he ain't lying.
He ain't lying about that,
Yeah.
that we know.
He ain't
yeah,
lying.
correct. Yeah. I mean, from his heart, he really feel like the character is no more there. The Ronin character is not there anymore, because he is the Ronin persona, right? So the character, so he's only Clean Button at the moment, and also sometimes Hawkeye, right? So then we see Kazi tying Clint's hand with the duct tape behind his back. This is why very significant, because of how he uses the friction to like what they call to cut off the duct tape and escape. And then Kate goes like, "How do you do that?" Like she's like, "Oh my god!" She's like so fascinated by how he does things, But I think what he does is all the simple things, it's just that we may not think of it at that point in time, lah. Right? Okay. Yeah. Then we see like a huge fight break out inside the particular sort of like a warehouse shop, something like that, like a big mall or something, right? Like a toy mall. So we see the tracksuit bros going after Clint, and then he uses his arrow, which of course we know in the previous few episodes that it was referenced by Kate Bishop about trick arrows and things like that. So we finally got to see those trick arrows in this particular episode. So we see how he uses the arrow to pin Echo to the wall, and then we see an arrow that brushes like Kazi's here and then breaks Kate's duct tape and all that. And then he also gives like his famous no look shot, like how in Avengers Endgame he shoots the Chitauri with the, like, he doesn't look, but then he shoots the arrow and then it goes there. Yeah. So his famous no look shot, I think that was very, very cool. And then we see after one of them start running out, then they escape that particular place and they were going out so they can run away. And we see that Kate runs to a Challenger, which is very similar to the comics, right? So the Challenger, like we see in the comics, that Hawkeye, what they call, has this like where there's a car scene, they always use this Challenger as sort of like the car lah, right? But like Clint said, no, he doesn't want to destroy a nice car, and then he hotwires a Chrysler instead, right? So the whole time Kate was talking to him, but he couldn't hear because he actually broke the hearing aid inside, right? So I don't know whether, I don't think she knew at that time. So whenever that he kept saying things to her, and then he's like, what Bodo? It doesn't reply, So like I saw, like, it was like very funny lah, those moments. Okay, then after that, there's this amazing car chase, like a car chase. It was very, very nice, where they got into the car, And then there is this how to say like a one shot take, in the car until the point where she gets up from the car and then she starts shooting the arrow. So that was really really nice how they pan the camera around. That was I think Harvin will know better about this lah, right?
Yeah,
In
the
terms of how
cinematography was damn good though. That scene lah. The choreographers was damn good.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a out and out fight scene, but then the way they built the Hawkeye car chase and fight sequence was really really nice, right? Catered towards Hawkeye's strength, right? What's his strength is that he's a great archer, right? So it was catered to that. So then we see a lot of these trick arrows. So we see one of the arrows we see is like this purple mud thing. Okay, and then we see like a bomb arrow where he shoots and then poof, the van blows up, and then we see like a plunger arrow, which Kate was like, "What the hell was that?" She didn't know what it was meant for. And then we see like a wire arrow where it shoots into the car, and then it like shoots out wires and grabs all the Christmas trees and all that. And then we also see a USB arrow. It was very nice. It was something very similar to
What If?
the one in What If, right? Yeah. Okay. And then we also have the Pim Tech arrow. Right? I think this was something we didn't expect. When I saw the word Pim on it, I was like, first I didn't see. I saw like blue color. Then only when I rewatched it back again, then only I saw like the word Pim. I was like, So I wonder why, because we know that blue color means like in Ant-Man, if it's blue color means it's to like make something big, right? So I actually didn't know that until I was like researching about it, and I found out. So that was really nice. Like, wonder how. Okay, moving forward, it's like Pim, Hank Pym is he like the new Tony Stark in the next phase. So I think that is something that we can look forward to lah.
I don't think that Hank Pym is the one, Jeff. I think it's from what would you say? Scott Lang from Ant-Man himself. Because we know that they have been in contact and stuff after Endgame or stuff like that, right? But of course, he hung up his suit. But I think for safety purposes or what, he did kept a lot of things for himself, like a lot of trick errors, maybe from Tony that we haven't seen yet. We never know. So yeah, most probably it's that.
Okay, so that was really really cool, all the arrows and all that, right? So the entire fight sequence was really nice, and then we see the famous shot of the Hawkeye falling backwards. We see in the comic as well. That was really nice, and this time Kate Bishop gets to join him, and doing that. So that was really really what they call a very and the way that they escape also is like more like a Spider-Man sort of the way they swing, so that was really nice. And then we see, then after they go onto a train, and then they enter a train, then Kate and Clint started exchanging conversation, and then but he still cannot hear, and then they were like going back and forth, and then she was saying that I need to go and take the dog for a walk or something like that, and then he also says that, and then he also compliments her, saying that she's a very great, she's a world-class archer, right? Which I think it is true, she is. But I think she's got a lot more to learn about how to be an Avenger sort of person, rather than just being good at what she does. Okay, and then the next one where we see quite a sad scene. Even the music was really really nice in terms of how the music was playing at that particular time, where Nathaniel, his younger son, calls him on the phone, and then because he cannot hear, right? Because he doesn't have the hearing aid, and then Kate Bishop helps him and writes down whatever that he's saying, and then so that he could reply back to him. I think that was really really. I felt it was very sad lah. Okay, that particular one, because like we know that he missed 5 years of Christmas, 5 Christmas probably, right? And this was the year for him to actually make up with his children. That's why I think he brought them to New York and to spend a lot of time with them. But then now he's like missing out again, right? So there's a lot of things. He speaks very much the human element of the character, lah.
Let's see also, Kate Bishop feels bad about it, Like, yeah, she feels like, damn, I screwed this up, and then I couldn't let him go back Christmas in time and stuff. But yeah. But definitely they'll be back for Christmas. So that definitely be a happy ending to that. So
Hopefully,
yeah.
lah. Hopefully, unless you are directing the last episode.
I think from that scene also what we can see is how much he really doesn't want to lose his hearing. That is why he wants to keep and wants to salvage and wants to fix his hearing aid. Because it shows how much he really. I think at one point during that conversation he says, "I love your voice" or something like that. "I miss your voice" or something like that. So that says a lot also that he really, really, really doesn't want to lose his hearing and he wants to keep it.
Marvel is pushing the tears lah, definitely.
Yeah. I think they're trying to because what do you call, they're trying to also, because we know that this is like down to earth sort of like a character, right? So they want to also input the human elements inside this lab, to not only like get awed by who Hawkeye is, but also to feel him as a character, because I think this is his final story, right? In the MCU, maybe final story in terms like sort of like a main character. He could come back again, to support and things like that. But we know that this is the mantle is going to be passed on. So we also want to feel for his character. Like, I think like how it was very similar to Endgame, when about Tony Stark. How he was in a dilemma whether he should help or whether he shouldn't help them with the time heist and things like that. So there's like a lot of things going on. So I hope there will not be like a sad ending towards this. Like what we all hope is it might be like a much better ending or much happier ending lah.
We might see Yelena lah at the end. So for you, it'll be a happy ending lah.
Of course. Anytime Florence Pugh is there, we'll be very happy. Okay. Then we see like a short scene of Maya and Kazi conversing in sign language. Then we see Kazi saying that he hopes the uncle don't find out. Again, this uncle will make a very big appearance in the next episode, maybe. Hopefully, lah. I just hope they don't give Kingpin a very short cameo, I hope, even if it's a cameo, I think probably one episode, even if it's there at the final episode, even in the last act of the final episode, give some time on the screen, lah. I think that would be something that is something we want to really look forward to. Okay, then we see a scene of Clint and Kate in Chinatown. Going to fix his hearing aid, and then there's actually like a poster at the side there which says Happy New Year, but they actually blocked out the final number because it was 202, and then the number was blocked out. But there's actually a set photo that was leaked saying it's 2025. So 2025 is like 2 years after Endgame. So we don't know, like timeline shenanigans again. We don't know where we are in the timeline, but I think as we go further into the phase 5 or phase 4, and then to phase 5, we will get a better understanding of the particular timeline. All right, and then we see at the when they were having their meal, and then we we see that Kate trying to name the dog. He calls him Little Caesar, Dog Father, Sir Dog of Pizza, and then Pizza Dog. So that was really, really cute and really nice how they dog. So finally, the dog has a name, so Pizza, we all know, right? Okay, and then we see Clint explain to Kate about the tracksuit as they were walking through like a park or something like that, and then we see Clint like explaining about the tracksuit, right? Because she may not know about the tracksuit. And then he says there's this bigger leader among them, right? So then he speculates that they might have hit the auction for something else. As we know, the first episode they wanted the watch, right? We don't know whose watch is that, but it was found in the Avengers compound. So we don't know whether it is like a watch from Tony Stark or Hank Pym. We don't know, right? We don't know where that particular watch is, or who the watch belongs to. So now we know that now maybe the next episode they might go and hunt and to see where what they took and why they want it, right? So they want to get an explanation on that. And then we see Kate tells Clint that her mother's fiance, which is Jack Duquesne, might be hiding something, and then they go to the Bishop's penthouse, and then the episode ends when we see that Jack Duquesne actually like swinging the Ronin sword to his neck, and then the episode ends. I think it was a very, very bad ending to the episode. They ended just like that, like a cliffhanger, and then we had one more week to find out.
All of it were cliffhangers lah, from episode 1 until 3.
Yeah.
Not so much like episode 1. I think it was when he found out that the person who donning the Ronin to was a girl. This is Kate Bishop.
Yeah lah,
And then
that's when they meet, what? So everybody definitely want to see more ma. But they just cut it off that time, so it's cliffhanging.
But this is more of like a villain and a hero ending scene,
Same lah, that was like hero and hero meeting up scene for the first time.
Well, that is
Thinking about it, right? I just thought about this theory, like out of the blue, because now
What a timing to
yeah.
what a timing to disappear. With.
Very good timing.
Is he back? No. Okay, if he's not back, then I'll go first lah. There he's back.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
go.
Okay. So this theory is that because in the comics we know that Swordmaster is actually Hawkeye's mentor, right? So but then now they are playing it here more as a villain. So I just imagine the fact that I don't know, it's just a theory. Let's just say Hawkeye is very good with arrows, bow and arrows, right? Archery and stuff. But how good is he with swords? We don't know. And he became Ronin during the 5-year jump, right? So what if during that 5 year he did train with Swordmaster, and then after they have some conflict and face off with some matter, and then now they are facing back again. So yeah, just a theory. I don't know. Just thought about it.
To me, like we only got 3 episodes left, and we know that now we are aware of 3 baddies, which is Jack Duquesne, Echo, and Kingpin. So as usual, Marvel movies, one will be teased for the next one, and one will be the main villain for this one. So the question is, who will it be? Okay, we know Kingpin will most likely be teased lah. I don't think he'll get involved as the baddie because there's no backstory for Kingpin to go for Hawkeye or to take revenge at Hawkeye. But Echo has a father who was killed by Ronin to go for Hawkeye, so she has the backstory. So most likely she and Jack Duquesne lah. So because Jack Duquesne also got a lot of story, and now is linked to Kate. And the reason why Hawkeye is not with his family is because of Kate. So it's a matter of which is gonna be the main villain. So I got no theories, but I'm just excited to see. This is something like usually we can predict what's gonna happen, or how are they gonna go, which direction they're gonna go. But now we don't know anything. We can't say anything. We don't know what's gonna happen in episode 4. We have no idea what's gonna happen in episode 4. We just know characters are there, stories are like this, but we don't know what's gonna happen or what's gonna take place. So that's the interesting part lah.
Yeah, I think I would also agree a little bit with Harvin's theory in terms that maybe Jack Duquesne, was the one that trained Clint, and then suddenly, the next episode you see he goes like, "Hi Clint," like Doc Ock going, "Hello Peter." He goes like, "Hi Clint," sort of like a situation where because Clint doesn't know that Jack Duquesne is Kate Bishop's mother's fiance, right? He doesn't know that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he might know that this person, he might know him as Jack Duquesne, or he might know him as Swordmaster or something like that. So maybe there could be a twist there in terms of who the main villain is, and then maybe Kingpin plays some part in that particular thing lah. As the big bad boss who, maybe like a Thanos who doesn't come in the beginning but comes later in the end, something like that, right? So I think it is quite interesting. The episode, of course, left us in a cliffhanger, but it keeps asking for more. Come faster. But we got another few more days left for Hawkeye episode 4, which of course is going to be really interesting to see what happens there.
I think by the time we release this video, the episode 4 will be out, and then we'll probably break it down in the next one.
Yes, correct. By the time you watch this video, it could be episode 4 already out already. So please, no spoilers. Okay. All right. So I think that is all for this particular episode of Hawkeye episode 3. So we what they call we want you to guys to like and subscribe to the channel because we want to bring you guys more content. And we have a lot of things what they call in the works, and also we can't wait for Spider-Man No Way Home. Just another 2 more weeks left for Spider-Man No Way Home. So please do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell notification so that you can stay up to date on when we will release our podcast videos. All right. So that is all from us, the Geek Street, and the street has spoken.
Ciao, guys.
Bye bye.